Good evening, ladies. Good evening and Happy New Year. Welcome to our very first session for the year. Our book that we're reading this month is The Richest Man in Babylon. And now we're having our session where the session objective is to motivate one another to apply the lessons from the book in order to enhance our own financial well-being. We are all looking for that financial freedom that they speak about in this book. I'm going to be a facilitator for tonight, and we are going to have Zama take us through financial freedom, and then we'll have a case presentation by Mopo, and then we'll do the discussion, and then later on, I will do the wrap up. And as I start with the introduction, please note that this session is being recorded so that those that are struggling with connectivity will be able to watch, and the recording will be available on our YouTube channel. So by participating, you're consenting to being recorded. Let's be mindful as we engage in this session in terms of confidentiality. Don't mention people's names or share information that they wouldn't be comfortable with you sharing during the session. So this is once again the agenda for today. Firstly, we will introduce the eco model that we use and also empowered women. And this part or this aspect is celebration. So I will also share about some of the sessions that we had this month. And then we'll have the section of educate where Zama will do a presentation on financial freedom, and then to empower, we'll have a case presentation. And the best thing about this discussion, it's more of what did I learn from this book that I'm going to apply in my finances going forward. You've noted that in the past 2-3 years, the first few sessions of the year, we focus on finances. So when it comes to personal finance, this is something that we want to win in so that we can be able to empower those that are around us while we also empowered economically. So as a way of introduction, we've partnered with Project Echo, and this is why we use the Echo model, where we use technology to leverage on scarce resources. We're able to share best practices, to share learnings from our books, and then we use case-based learning where we're saying, from what I've read, what am I going to apply? And then with this system that we use, we're also able to monitor in terms of attendance, the data. So we've got a database of people that do join in as well on this particular sessions. So as ImPower'd Woman Book Club, we are a registered nonprofit organization working for the rights and empowerment of women. Our aim is three things: to empower, educate, and celebrate women. So we do this through a book club where we read one book a month, and then we come and review last Sunday of the month. So every last Sunday of the month, 6 p.m., we have the Zoom session. And then this year we've introduced physical meetups, which happen the last Saturday of each month all over the country. And if people are looking for alternative dates on the provincial groups, that's where we get to engage and also decide which day would be suitable for the people that are in that particular province. And in terms of our network, we've got over 500 women, and we're also a member of LITASA, which is the Literacy Association of South Africa, and the Limpopo United Business Forum. With those membership mentioned, if there are other membership based organizations that you would want to be a part of that is in your area, please do get in touch so that we establish that relationship, and then we can have our members connect and also get to benefit based on where they are. So yesterday, we had Limpopo Vision Board sessions. So the ladies in Thoyando met up at Wimpy and Tabane Mall, We had a beautiful session where we got to connect. It had been long since we came together just to find out where everyone is, what they're doing, and also ask ourselves what is the one thing that we want to achieve this year. So we also spoke about vision boarding, and we are ready to do our vision boards. Some people were only being introduced to vision boards for the very first time yesterday, and it was exciting to share and also learn from people that have been doing vision boards for quite some time, the successes and how it has worked for them. And similarly, the ladies from Polokwane, you can see the two photos on the right. They met up and they had a beautiful engagement. And later on in the afternoon, they gave me a call and they're like, hey, you want to video call and connect with the Toyando ladies? And I'm like, yo, hi guys. And Tina, we've already finished. So it was such a beautiful session, and we just want to celebrate one another and celebrate you. And as you plan for your vision boards in your respective provinces, we say do share those invites because, hey, you never know. We're always gallivanting, and we might be in your province when it's time to have those particular meetups. So now we're going to do our introductions. This is quick introductions, share about yourself, what you're comfortable with sharing. It can be what you do, where you're based, any successes that you want to share with the team. I will start with myself, and then I will go to you, Mopo, and then from Mopo, I will go to Itumeleng. So on my side, I'm Muraro Nematayeni. I am a certified financial planner by profession. I'm based in Moraga village in Thoyando in Limpopo. I'm the president and founder of ImPower'd Woman, and I am so excited to be doing this with you. We've been doing this for the past 5 years. And as we start on this journey, I just want to wish you all well. What I do is I teach financial literacy and also run a book club, which is a platform for women to come together, empower one another, educate one another, and most importantly, celebrate one another. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mopo. You'll introduce yourself. When you're done, we'll go to Itumeleng.
Thanks very much, Miralo. Hi, ladies. Lovely to be with you this afternoon. My name is Mopo Mushwana. I am an accountant. But I'm out of accounting now. I'm in risk management. I'm an employee at LEADER, Limpopo Economic Development Agency. It is really wonderful to be a part of this. I get so motivated, so inspired. I'm starting to dream so much what it is that there is so much that I can do and I haven't started doing. I do believe a lot of you are really inspired to start on something. I do believe by the end of this year, I will have found my feet. I will have found my thinking cap and done something useful with myself. But otherwise, the other thing that I do part time is I contribute by sitting on boards. And the most interesting thing I was sharing with Malalo recently was I got invited to sit on a board of directors, and I found it quite interesting. I didn't apply for it, and I was just invited to sit on the board, and I found it quite an interesting thing. And I'm really inspired to contribute even more to sit on other boards. So if you've got a connection, I'm available, ladies. Thanks very much.
Thank you for the introduction. Over to you, Itumeleng. I think she got disconnected. Um, I will hand over to Nte Bucheleng. If you can introduce yourself.
Hi, Molalo. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm Debuheleng. That's how you pronounce the name, Debuheleng. Steerman is my surname. I reside in Cape Town. I'm a pharmacist by profession. Well, I was introduced into this group by my friend Zukiswa. and I got interested because I also have a vision and I've got goals that I would like to achieve, and I need guidance in how to achieve them, especially the financial goals. And I am thrilled and excited and grateful that I managed to find you guys through my friend, and I'm willing to learn more. And hopefully I will learn more and be able to achieve all the things that I would like to achieve, especially this year, financially and business wise. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you very much, and a warm welcome to you from Empowered Women. I'm sure you'll be meeting up with the Cape Town ladies in Feb. I know the meeting on Sunday, the 2nd of February, so that would be exciting. Tandi, you're most welcome to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mudalo. Afternoon, ladies. I am Tandi Bushoha. I am based in Nelspruit. By profession, I'm an auditor. I'm a CA. I work for the Office of the Auditor General. We audit mainly the government. I think you know those who are familiar with the Office of the Auditor General. So my interest, I think I'm more leaning into education these days. So that's where I am trying to chart my career into, but I'm still in auditing. That is my 3-year goal, to move into education. And then I also serve as a mentor as part of the SAICA mentoring program part-time, just looking to continue this year, maybe also join the Farsight mentorship. I found this link on Mulalo's channel. There's a channel that she shared. I think it's very empowering because I also joined another session on Friday, and today I'm joining this one. So I'm feeling like I will be empowered this year. Thank you, Mulalo, for sharing, and also for all the sessions that you're holding to empower us as women. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tandi, and welcome. Zama, if you can introduce yourself. After Zama, we'll have Goli and Seho.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zama Spengani, and I'm an author of 2 financial literacy books. One is for children. It teaches children how to learn financial literacy terms using AMA ABCs, which are alphabets. And the second one teaches adults how to invest on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and I'm based in Johannesburg. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Zama. I was telling Ruzani Kashan yesterday when she was introducing herself, I'm like, your introductions are not complete, guys. You must say Rethinking ABCs, which was read and reviewed by Empowered Woman Book Club in July last year. We must be featured in the for the work that we're doing as Empowered Women. So welcome, Zama. Koli, if you can introduce yourself.
Um, Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. So my name is Kodi Swasitengile. I was a student at Nelson Mandela University, and I'm going to be graduating soon. I freelance as a web developer and graphic designer. I'm currently trying to learn how to be a 3D animator. Um, I was not really an active member of the book club, but I decided that 2025 should be a different year. So I'm trying to
Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm the only one struggling to hear Polly.
You're not the only one, Koli.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Try.
Can you hear me?
That's a little better.
Okay. Should I start from the start again?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just start. I'll just start it off.
Your voice is still very soft, Koli.
Okay, so my name is Koli Swasitengile. I was a student at Nelson Mandela University. I joined the group through BYM where I met Mulalo. I was not really a full member. I was a part-time, but this year I decided to be active. I freelance as a web developer and a graphic designer, and I'm currently learning how to animate 3D animation. And I really enjoy the group because it has really helped me learn and get to know different authors and also read new books. So Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toli.
Tony.
Lastly, Seho, if you can introduce yourself. Okay, with that said, we're done with the introductions. We'll ask those that want to introduce themselves to also do so in the chat functionality. I see Lena has already done the introductions there. She says, "Good day, ladies. Your neighbor from across the orange here, Lena, that's Namibia. Right here, right now, I'm in Ekasi having my hair done. I met Mulalo through Yali and I joined this group late 2021. I like it here. That's why I always keep coming back. Although I'm always in the background, I'll take the lead someday. You never know. Thank you and welcome. Zama, yes, definitely the book club to be mentioned in the intro. Usanda, she's a Debonite, currently residing in Tondo, working at the University of Venda as a lecturer. And she's saying she's lived almost everywhere in the country and thrilled to be part of the community of women and can't wait to hear the inputs on the book. Thank you all. I see a hand from Malebo. You can unmute.
Hi everyone. I wanted to introduce myself. I can see you missed me.
I did not miss you.
Oh, did I join in a bit late?
I was like latecomers on board. I was going on the order at which people joined. You're most welcome to introduce yourself, Malebu.
Okay, all right. My name is Ashla Malebu Mulife. I'm actually I've been with ImPower'd Women since 2021. And I know I missed a couple of sessions last year. Last year was such a hectic year. But this year, I'm committed that I will join more sessions. And I'm a financial planner. I'm very passionate about financial literacy. I feel like, we could be a better nation if we can get our monies right and build wealth. Wealth is not only deserved by white people. We also deserve to have wealth, but it takes discipline for us to get there. So, I'm very passionate on talking about it, talking about the discipline that is required to gain your wealth. And as you others may know, I'm responsible for the Houghton Group, and we are having our vision board on the 22nd of February. And I hope everybody's gonna join. The invites will follow this week. I will make sure I do the invite. Thank you, Mulalo.
Thank you very much, Malebo, and for introducing yourself. You forgot to mention, Ruti, you just came back from London, UK.
Yes, and thank you to this group, to Mulalo, for making for insisting that I apply for the leadership program, yeah, IWF, and we applied, we were accepted, and we went to London. And thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known about the program, and it has made me a better person, and I am determined to be a better leader also.
Thank you very much, Malebo, for sharing that. Yes, this community, we need to support one another. And as we share opportunities, we must apply. We must go there, gallivant, see the world, and be better leaders. I see there's Hudi who introduced herself in the chat. She's our administrator based here in Moraga. So welcome, Hudi. And then I'll also come to the other introductions as we continue. But all in all, I just want to say let's move to the next session and hand over to you, Zama, to take us through a presentation on financial education. You are on mute, Zama. Taking us back to 2020.
Oh, my sister. Thank you. So good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Zama, and I'm gonna ask for permission to switch off my video because I'm using my phone for the notes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, I've been given the topic here, financial freedom, which is based on what we've learned from the book, which is The Richest Man in Babylon. So, according to the book, UACAD defines financial freedom as the ability to live without having to constantly worry about money. So it means you are living a stress-free life because everything requires money. So once you attain financial freedom, it means you won't have to worry about working for money, but your money will start working for you. So he doesn't only tell us that part, but he also goes on to tell us how to achieve or to teach us how to achieve this financial freedom. So he gives us 5 principles that we can practically use in our lives, in our everyday lives. So the first one that he mentions, even though in the book, I mean, it's narrative, so he doesn't say it directly. But the first one is paying yourself first. So according to the original quote, he says, "Start thy purse to fattening. For every 10 coins thou placest within thy purse, take out for use but 9. Thy purse will start to fatten, and thy gold will increase." So in other words, we need to start paying ourselves first. For every money or for every income that you get, 10% of that income belongs to you. And when we say it belongs to you, it doesn't mean you must go shopping. Because I mean, if you go shopping, it means that 10% is going to the retail stores. If you say you are going to do your hair, it means that 10% is going to the salon. So essentially, there's nothing that is coming to you. So what it means by saying we must pay ourselves first is that we must take that money and put it away. So we are saving it, or we should invest that money so that we can start seeing that money accumulating for our future needs. So that's the first rule that he teaches us, that we need to pay ourselves first. So if you are earning 100 rands or 1,000 rands, it means 100 rands of that money belongs to you. So if you are someone who believes in tithing, it means you will tithe, you will take 10% for yourself, and then you will take 10% for God, and then you will only use 80% for your expenses and other things. So that is the first rule that he teaches us about. And then the second one, he teaches us to control our expenses. So he says in the original quote, he says, "Control thy expenditures. Do not confuse necessary expenses with desires. Keep thy expenditures within thy means." So this is teaching us to live below our means, or to live within our means. So he warns us against this tendency of inflating our lifestyles as soon as our income increases. For example, we haven't received any increment, I believe, maybe for the year 2025. But as soon as they're saying they will give us, let's say, 1,000 rand extra, now you want to go and take out a phone contract using that same 1,000, whereas you are able to live without that 1,000 rands last year. So why don't you take that 1,000 and save it, or do something productive instead of trying to inflate your lifestyle. Now you want to go out every Friday just because you have 1,000 rands more in your salary. So it teaches us to control our expenses, and we shouldn't confuse necessary expenses with desires. There are things that we can live without, and there are things that we cannot live without. So you need to sit down with yourself and be honest. Can I live without this thing? Is this a need or is it a want? So control your expenses. Then we come to the third one, which is investing wisely. So in the original quote, he says, make thy gold multiply. Put your money to work for you and let it grow. Seek wise counsel before you part with your gold. So this one is very important. It teaches us that we shouldn't invest in things that we don't understand. If you are someone who's interested in the property business, don't just buy property without any research or finding out the information maybe from the people who already own properties, people who've already bought properties in that area. Because if you are doing that, it means now you are, or your capital won't be safe, because you might lose money. What if the agent sells you this house, but he's already sold the house to 7 other people? So you need to ensure that you invest wisely. Also avoid this thing of pyramid schemes where you don't know where the money comes from. They say put 1,000, get 10,000 after 3 days or after 7 days. That is unrealistic. Take your time to learn about things. If you hear someone talking about RSA retail bonds, for example, go and do your research. If you hear someone talking about shares, do your research before you put your money in. So let us avoid risky investments where you just invest blindly without doing any research. So I've already spoken about 3. I said the first one is pay yourself first. The second one, you need to control your expenses. And the third one, you need to invest wisely. So the second to last one, it says, increase your ability to earn. You need to increase your ability to earn. In the original quote, it says, increase thy ability to earn. Seek wisdom in all things. Learn from those who are skilled in the ways of money. So what this teaches us is that it's important for us to improve, or we need to develop. As a person, you just need to develop. So you don't only depend, for example, on your 9 to 5, but you must also acquire other skills outside of your workplace. Because what happens if you get retrenched? What will happen and you don't have any skill under your name? So we need to constantly improve ourselves, constantly improve our education, try to learn new skills, so that even if you lose your job today, for example, I think the other day in that morning session that we had, I mentioned that I recently learned how to bake. So it means if one day I lose my job as an educator, I can still come back home and bake cakes, and I won't be poor for the rest of my life just because I have a degree, yeah, teaching and so forth. So it's very important for us to try and learn other skills and use those skills to make money. Because I mean, some skills are just for fun, but others have a potential of increasing your income. So make sure that you acquire these skills, learn new skills, or go back to school. Education still is the key to success, I believe, because I mean, if someone has a degree and maybe the other person has a master's, in some workplaces, the one with master's will earn more money. So if you know that I am not interested in selling perfumes, I'm not interested in baking, then you need to focus on school. Make sure that you increase your ability to learn. And then the last one, it says protect your wealth. So now we are talking about wealth protection. The original quote says, guard thy treasures from loss. Invest only where thy principal is safe, where it can grow, and where it is secure from loss. Seek wise counsel to avoid the pitfalls that may threaten your wealth. This one is very important. Sometimes we focus more on acquiring assets, building these brands that we are trying to build, but there's no protection, there's no wealth protection. You buy a house but it's not insured, you buy a car and it's not insured. So it means if maybe something bad happens to your business, or your house burns down, it means now you're gonna have to start from scratch. And if you had insurance for that house, you would know that things are well taken care of. So it's important for us to guard against unnecessary risks and ensure that our money is safe from all the misfortune. Don't put money under your mattress, because what happens now if they break into your house? What will happen to that money? So he encourages us to seek expert advice to avoid our investments that could lead to loss. Like I said, do not invest in things that you don't understand. But at the same time, when you've invested, please ensure that your assets are protected through different insurances. So the 5 points, I will just repeat them again. It's pay yourself first, control your expenses, invest wisely, increase your ability to earn, and then protect your wealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Zama, for that. It's very practical. I think there's something that you missed out. I always encourage us to say, don't shy away from selling yourself and your services. When you mentioned don't invest on things that you don't understand, I'm going to give you a minute to tell us about your book that teaches people on how to invest. Sell it, tell us how much it costs, and then how people can get it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So I was saying that if you want to invest in shares, then you need to start learning. Read books on how to invest in shares. So I, Zamaka Pegane, have written a book that teaches people how to buy shares using the Easy Equities platform. You can buy shares from as little as R1. And in that book, it will give you, it's a step-by-step guide that will tell you this is why people buy shares, this is what shares are, this is where you can buy them, and so forth. So my book is 250 rands and plus 60 rands delivery. You can order it directly from me on 064 814 5529. I will leave my number in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zama. Let's support one another and also guide each other on this journey. Vero, I saw you are here, a broker assurance. They said that we must make sure that our wealth is protected. If you can unmute, introduce yourself, tell the ladies what you do so that they don't struggle when they need to protect their wealth. Okay, I saw Fero's introduction on the chats. I was giving you an opportunity to just unmute.
Sorry about that, Manalo. Good afternoon, empowered ladies. My name is Veronica. I'm based. Oh, my surname is Mamabolo. I'm based here in Polokwane. I can say Limpopo in general. I can say, yeah. I'm a business insurance specialist. So I was so excited when I heard Zama touching that part of insuring your assets. So I'm dealing with that on daily basis. if there's anyone who needs that, you needs me to just to guide maybe, yeah, I'm available on this number 060-977-6588. I'll also add it on the chat box. What I do the most is the business insurance. I mostly insure the assets and the buildings, I can say, the stock, the contents, the machinery, goods in transit, the vehicles. I also do personal. If I find that one of my clients has a personal house, maybe, or the contents or anything that belongs to the person, not the company, I also assist in that one. So I'm reachable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vero, for introducing yourself. Sometimes people will be like, I'm doing this application, I need public liability in Tonton. And I'm like, I guess we have Vero. You guys must know each other. You must just make it your goal to get to know one person from this community, even if it's just one person a month. I was once in a program with AWORK, even the applications are open. African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, where they take 200 women from across the African continent. You go on a 12-month entrepreneurial development program focusing on different topics. You get to connect with ladies all over Africa. So if you are in business and planning to expand across Africa, if you're looking to make connections, sisterhood beyond borders, and also to learn how to do certain things in your business, please make sure that you look out for that link, you apply, and then you submit, and then you become part of this prestigious program that connects you and also grow you in business. And then as you grow in business, we've got Vero to ensure our things. Over to you, Mopo. You can take us through the case presentation and also lead the discussion with the group.
Thanks very much, Mulalo, and thanks very much, Zama. Wow, it's so interesting. You know, a few occasions I couldn't make the time to attend the book session, the book review session. But now I realize, even though sometimes it's because I have not read the book, you actually get a lot, you learn a lot from what people are sharing. So next time I'll just make it a point that I am present to just listen and share what I have. Okay. So Zama, thanks very much. Zama has covered the 5 main lessons we learned from the book. But basically, there are, a lot of learnings throughout the book, which are actually interrelated. There are, what I started off with for me is, according to the thing that I have to follow, obviously it's personal information that I've shared already, the overview of the book, specific topic lessons for discussion and application to self for personal situation, and then we'll go to the possible discussions and questions. Now, on the overview of the book, the book reveals the simple secrets. They're very simple secrets to personal wealth, the key to all that one's desires and wishes, the secrets of the ancient and an assured road to happiness and prosperity. That's how the book is so simple, but there's a lot hidden because of the English that they use in there. But then I said, okay, I'm going to press it and read. I promised you're going to learn it's gold. And then they sort of explain why Babylon. Why Babylon? It's the wealthiest city of the ancient world. Its citizens, and specifically its citizens, it's not just the country, the citizens were richest people of their time. So this goes to individual wealth, accumulation and preservation. And I like what Malalo is doing. I like what the ladies are doing here. If we all individually learn the simple tricks to become financially free, it's amazing. It's going to have a domino effect. You pass it on to your brother, your sister, your friend, and it's amazing how much this is going to build up into a rich country. And then they say Babylon is a crater in which was nurtured the basic principles of finance, which are now recognized and used the world over. So finance started there. The debit, the credit, the savings there, it started in Babylon. Hence, it was the richest city. And then, how did they do it? They appreciated the value of money. So we must start learning to appreciate the value of money. They practiced sound financial principles in acquiring money, keeping money, and making their money earn more money. This is what Zama has been saying. Got to acquire money, and once you have it, keep it, and then once you've kept it, make sure the money works for you. Then I'll go to the specific lessons for discussion. I hope I'm not jumping my. So the 3 lessons, I'll just check if perhaps this is not what, in certain words, that's what Zama has covered already. The 3 lessons to appreciate the value of money. You acquire, accumulate. That is the part she said, a part of all you learn is yours to keep. That's 10%. The power of compound interest will come out of there. And then budgeting your expenses, she covered that. Live below your means or within your means. The third one, make your money work and earn you more money. Get advice from experts. She covered this. So it's basically those basic and simple principles, but we overlook them. Now, the other part the book talks about is the 7 cures for a lean purse. If your purse is lean, how do you cure it? And she covered this as well. I'm trying to indicate every other chapter and section is related to the next. It is start your purse to fattening. You start fattening your purse. The 10 coins, do not spend all of them. 1 of them you keep. Control your expenditure. She covered that, is budgeting. It touch not the 1/10 that is fattening your purse. Make sure you put 1/10 aside. Make your gold multiply. Compound interest. Put each coin to labor that it may reproduce its own kind, even as the flocks of the field, and help bring to you income, a stream of wealth that shall flow constantly into your purse. That is basically just stamping on what they've said already. And then number 4, guard your treasures for loss. Zama has already covered this, your insurance. And the other, that's number 4. Number 5, make your house a profitable investment. Here they are advising us to own property as opposed to buying, I suppose, vehicles. So land and property. And you're going to earn out of that. You save a lot of money by owning as opposed to renting. And then they talk about insuring as well. Ensure a future income. Property and land are permanent in the value with handsome earnings of their sale. So if you have land and property, you can sell at a later stage and make a lot of profit out of it. And then number 7, increase your ability to earn. Zama said this. You need to sharpen yourself, cultivate your own power to learn and become wiser, to become more skillful. Zama has already covered on that. I won't go too much into that. But the other areas that I loved a lot and I've quoted is, this was covered, it was Akkad. Akkad said, if you have not acquired more than an existence, that is, if you have not acquired more than just to go by on a daily basis or on a monthly basis, in the years since we were youth, you have either failed to learn the laws that govern the building of wealth, or else you do not observe them. So it's either of the two. You need to learn the laws that govern the building of wealth. And once you've learned them, put them to practice. So there's no point in learning, but not putting them to practice, observing them. And then the book also gives us personal advice. If you desire to help your friend, do it in a way that will not bring the friend's burden upon yourself. We Africans have got this thing, my friend, my sister, my brother's got this burden, let me try and help, and then you carry it on your shoulder. Be careful to not do that. And then he says, Generosity must be generous to both the recipient and the giver. So yourself as a giver, you must still receive the generosity in this way. He says putting your finances at risk to help someone is not generosity. This one just flashed at my face, and I thought, oh my God, this I have got to read and practice. So there's also 5 laws of gold. These are other specific topics and lessons for discussion, but these are, as I said, they're all interrelated. It's talking, it's stressing and repeating what we've learned, but it comes in different shapes. The 5 laws of gold say, put aside 1/10 of earnings to create an estate for your future and for your family. Number 2, gold labors diligently and contently for the one who finds profitable employment for it, multiplying as the flock of the field. So there we are. If you put your gold to work for you diligently, it will do that. And you need to do it consistently. And then this gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of wise men in its handling. Zama has already covered this. Make sure you get your advice. Be cautious where you put your money. Who is advising you? Who's guiding you? She has elaborated quite a lot on that, and I appreciate the explanation. And then they say gold slips away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or are not approved by those skilled in it. Professionals, speak to professionals. Don't get your advice like this man who wanted to invest in jewels, and then he spoke to a builder, I think. And they say, why would you go to a builder to advise you about jewels? You don't do that. You go to professionals in that particular field. And then number 5, gold flees the man. It runs away from a man who would force it to impossible earnings or who follows the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. Clearly, if you're inexperienced, you will make mistakes. So don't do that. Don't get advice. Speak to professionals. The next part is the clay tablets. This is giving us a structured way to pay off our debts. I realized this as I went to read it for the second time. The 5 clay tablets, there was some 5 clay tablets which were excavated from the ruins of Babylon. And this is the translation of a certain college archaeologist, a professor, Shrewsbury, of what was inscribed on the tablets. So I suppose that was written there was in a certain language, and this guy transcribed what was written there. And interestingly, he says, I actually put this, they were so simple. He's a professor, but he said, we decided with my wife to let's just put this into, practice. And amazingly, he says in that letter, it's amazing. We are out of debt. We have accumulated so much wealth out of following this. So, I mean, if even professors believe in this, it's simple. And that's why a lot of people just look away and don't, probably say, it's too simple. So he says, tablet 1 says, 1/10, we go again. 1/10 of all I earn shall be set aside as my own to keep. There we go again. 7/10 of earnings shall be to provide for the family. You're talking 7/10. You have the 1/10. So there's two tenths, I think, left. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 2/10 left. They'll speak about that later. And then he says on tablet 2, debts are to be paid. You have to pay your debts. I read somewhere where he's explaining if you do not pay your debts, you are a coward, you run away. They grow, they get so big and they become big monsters that you are unable to handle. Like this man who ran away from Babylon because he had so much debt, he ran away, but he came back and then he started paying. And then the third one, it says, put aside 2/10 to pay off debts. So that's where the 2/10 comes in. 1/10 put away, 7/10 address your expenses for families, provide for your family. And then the 2/10 pay off your debts. He says, acknowledge and make a list of all your creditors. Make an arrangement with creditors to pay them back. This is without fail, you've got to address. You cannot run away from it. Tablet number 4 says it continues the cycle. It actually explains how he continued. I think this was Akkad, after learning from his mistakes. He continued the cycle every month, regardless of how much he earned. 1/10 he kept, 2/10 he paid off his debt, 7/10 it goes to the sustenance of his family. Tablet number 5, that's where now you have paid off your debts. It's celebration of achievement of determination. That's basically what this book is about. It's amazing, amazing how simple it sounds, but it is amazing. So the next chapter now is the application to self. I am sharing my story, guys. Believe it or not, this is me. After reading this book, and interestingly, I was talking to Malalo to say, I came across this book. I believe this is where God guides you. I read this book even before it was mentioned it's going to be read in January. I read, I think it was in December, as I was, whiling away time. I said, I'm forcing myself to read this English. And I made the following resolutions. 10% of all I earn, I keep in a 32-day call account or a reliable stokvel. We have got a Mufatu stokvel. I've made it a point that I'm going to, part of the 10% is going to go there because I do not want to touch it. 32-day call account, once the money is in there, I can't touch it. Then I took my bank statement and I faced my demands, my monthly expenditure. Guys, lessons learned. I've been living beyond my means, and my generosity has endangered my financial situation. I'm a generous person, and I never had a budget. I'm an accountant. I'm ashamed to say that. I never had a budget. I'll say, money is coming in on the 25th. It's fine. Debit orders will go through. I will just spend. How much do you want? We can go out for dinner. I promise you, recklessness of the worst order. That's how I've been living. And it's amazing. I've got this spreadsheet that I've prepared. I look into it almost on a daily basis to say, hold on, where am I now? Which debit orders have gone through? How much is going to be left? Where is my 10%? I promise you, I am so strict with myself now. That's cash flow and savings budget. And I know, ladies, I know I'll be completely out of debt in 2 years' time. I've got it written out on a spreadsheet. I've got monies that go in there to say, I'm financing this, I'm paying this off. And by this time, I'll be out of debt. It's amazing. You have got to face your demons. You've got to look at them like in the face. I did that. It's scary, but that's a good starting point. Number 4, I endeavor to only spend after month end. After month end. I'm not saying today's the 25th, I'm going out tomorrow, and I wait until the bank has taken all its debit orders. Because those are my debtors, those are my creditors. I've got to pay them, make sure they are paid. Only afterwards can I say, okay, here is a little bit that's left, apart from the 10% that I've put aside already. And then spending on cash basis. Hey, this thing was spending with your card. You go here, you swipe. It's very dangerous. I'll just tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday or a day before, I can't remember. I went to the shop to buy a loaf of bread. And I said, I'm not going to use my card, obviously, to buy a loaf of bread. I found some 2 10 rands, and I said, I'm buying bread. I usually, the mopo that I know, I go to the shop, I'm going to buy a loaf of bread. I'll come out with a big trolley. I bought this and that, and it really is not necessary to buy at that time. And I told my sisters, and I say, I really am so proud of myself. I spend and spend unnecessarily. They said, every woman is like that. And I said, they don't understand where I am. So these are the applications to myself, and this has certainly influenced by this book. So ladies, those are my personal reasons. And I would like us to now go to the possible discussion questions. I have got a few questions here, which I believe we can, go into discussion. You can ask questions. You can, I'll just indicate the ones that I've written here. You can just, in your mind, coming from having read the book and how it has impacted on me. How do you plan to get out of debt? You've got debt in front of you. You have a plan. How do you plan to get out of that debt? How much is your monthly spend in relation to your earnings? How much do you spend? I am at 88% right now, and obviously that is dangerous. It's quite risky. Do you have an idea of when you will pay up your house? If you have houses, mine will be paid out in 2 years. And luckily for me, if I share this with you, I came across someone who was sharing to say, guys, you don't have to be a slave for 20 years. You can get out of it. Pay a little extra, just a little extra. And I told myself, I think Zama, you were talking about that, or it was Miss Molefe saying, pay a little bit more so that you finance your interest. I can't remember. I don't put it properly. But that's what I started doing, and it's amazing. This loan that I have taken, I was supposed to finish it, I think, in the next 10 years or so. But I promise you, in the next 2 years, I'll be done because I put that little extra into paying. How much will you be saving this year? I'll disclose it because I want accountability. Minimum 90,000 rands, minimum. And this is the amount of money that all these years has been going to spending, having fun, going here and there. But I'm going to be disciplined, minimum 90,000 rand. I think we'll have to have a session where I'll be accountable. I'll be asked questions to say, so how much have you saved? And the other question is, what are your expenditures for the coming 3 years? I have laid out my expenditures for the coming 3 years. Hence, I know how much I'll be spending. I know when I'll be finishing off something and then taking that to pay off something else. And then once that's finished, go in and pay off something else. Hence, I know in the next 2 years, I will have paid up my house. I will have saved so much. It's so interesting when you have it on the wall. How much do your debit orders add up to monthly? Those are the questions I would like us to, as we deliberate, ask questions, make your inputs. But let me share this with you, which I've put here. Your debts are your enemies. You leave them alone and they grow too strong for you. But when you fight them, you conquer them to become honored in your own townspeople. So this is after this guy had to run away from his creditors because he had left his debts, he wasn't paying, so he literally had to run out of Babylon. And then Debashe, who is the guy who was sharing the story, says, ill fortune pursues every man who thinks more of borrowing than of repaying. Ill fortune pursues every man who thinks more of borrowing than of repaying. We borrow from the bank. We borrow from friends. Cut that, but look at repaying. No man, he says, no man is otherwise who cannot respect himself. And no man can respect himself who does not repay honest debts. Ladies, I come to the end, and now I would like us to engage. Let us engage. That is the book in brief. I see a hand from Lado. Please go ahead.
Yes,
Thank you very much, Mobo, for that case presentation and also sharing about your own personal experience and resolutions that you've taken after reading this book. And for me, before I come in, I just want to share that I've written a message there on the chat to say those that want to join in on the discussion, you can raise your hand or indicate on the chat so that we give each other time to share. But all in all, for me, even the foreword where we're still starting with the book was something that struck me when they said that our prosperity as a nation depends upon the financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. So for me, that very first line set the tone to say that, yes, we want to get out of debt, but it is everyone's responsibility to sort out their own finances so that at the end of the day, we can all be financial free. I did a poll as we were talking. I think it was Zama. We'll just launch that poll. So if you get to see it, it's just asking, are you financially free? And you can just say, yes, I do not worry about money, or no, I still worry about money, but on my way to financial freedom. So that will give us an idea of where people are. And for me, the simplest of the learnings was when they said, a part of all that you earn is yours to keep. That was a very personal statement that I ended up sharing when I was talking to one of my colleagues, and we're talking about this generosity that you were speaking about. And I was like, sometimes we always talk about self love, but we never talk about self-hate. And I ended up telling her that giving people money while you're still in debt is also a form of self-hate because now you're choosing to prioritize other people instead of prioritizing yourself. And also, when you were sharing about the 70, 20, 10, sometimes we get so fixated on budgeting and 70, 30, 50, 20, 30, and we just think that's the end of it all. But when you're talking about the 70% to cover our family needs, 20% to pay the debt, and then this 10% to keep for ourselves, it just gives more flexibility and freedom to say that the numbers must make sense to you in terms of where you are and not only be stuck on the 50, 30, 20. My learnings from the book and also what I want to do going forward would be making practical, keeping this 10% for myself before I do everything else. And like you said, you mentioned about the Stockful. Yes, we've got a Stockful that has been running for the past 5 years. So we're starting year 6. And last day to join the Stockful is the 31st of January. And after that, we don't talk Stockful. It's just a matter of saying, let's keep each other accountable. So when we have those meetings and monthly statements, the quarterly statements, that's where we'll sit and be accountable to one another in line with our own personal goals. So just to thank you and also thank Zama for taking us through the book and also making us realize that this is personal and the decisions that I make with my money do not have to be similar to what Mopo is doing or what Malebo is doing. So for me, with this book, the 10%, I before I even go buy grocery, the 10% is mine and I'm keeping it for myself. Thank you. Over to you, Malebo.
Thank you so much to Zama and Mopo for giving us the overview. As a financial advisor, they have outlined the basics of what you need to do with your money, and I would like to say that I appreciate Mopo's story where she talks about the discipline, when she talks about taking out the spreadsheets and really going through each line item by item, how much am I? It's a discipline that each and everyone must have, because if we don't have that discipline, it's easy for us to overspend. I also do that for myself. Most people, they say that I'm the stingy person, but I'm very careful with my spending. I'm not going to buy a 2,000 bag knowing very well I'm not in a position. I'm not saying it's wrong to buy a 2,000 bag. I'm saying you should have worked hard for you to be at that state. And if your money doesn't agree, don't go there. Stick to any bag that is lower. That's what I'm saying. And people have been on my case. When are you changing my cars? And I've always said, I'm not changing my car, guys, because my car still works. And that's the principle that I want. I want to control my spending, because now, the minute now I change my car, it's going to increase my expenses. I'm not ready for that increase because cars are expensive. So if this one that I'm using works, I would rather stick to it. So, controlling your spending, it's one of the difficult things, because we love nice things. We love nice things in life, but we have to be careful that those nice things, they don't rob us of the wealth that we could build in the future. Thank you so much, Mulalo. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. I think you can pass to the next person, Busisiwe. Once you're done, you'll pass to the next hand. I think it's Katlego.
Okay, now thank you so much. Thank you, Mopo, for being so honest and putting it out there. The one aspect I wanted to put on the table is also there's a quote that is in the book that says, "A free man with the soul of a slave," or poverty mentality, because we can well do all these things, wonderful things, but if you don't also work on your mental attitude towards money, you will end up finding yourself in this situation. And mine is that my first flat, I paid it within 10 years because I had already gotten some of these principles. But with my second house, I actually ended up losing it because then I became complacent. I didn't follow the same rigid rules that I had with the first property. So just to say that as we do this, we must always keep it in our mind that this is a lifelong lesson, to say don't fall off the cracks and thinking now I know it all, because just as you gain this, you may find yourself losing it. But thank you so much, ladies, for unpacking the book. I really enjoyed it. I wish this could be part of a school syllabus. Much as it's an old book, but it's written in such a way that everybody can follow the practical examples.
Good evening. I enjoyed the book, but for me it was more of a reflection, because one of my goals in 2024 was to be done with the credit card, and by December I was done. Like the 25,000 credit card, I'm done. I no longer owe UPSA. But then one of the things that I liked in the book is the plan where the person was writing all the debts down, coming up with a strategy on how to pay bit and bits of them, so that in the end the person is able to finish up all his debts. So I think for me it's a motivation to not go back again to the credit card life. And just yesterday morning, a friend of mine couldn't pick up a single pair of shoes. She took about 4 pairs to an event. And I said to her, I wish sometimes I could be like you, because I'm so much of a minimalist. I used to love shoes, but now literally I can count my shoes. She's like, no, Katli, where you are, remain where you are. because you don't want to find yourself where when you have to put up an outfit, now you take six pairs of shoes in the car because you don't know what you now have a choice. But in my case now, literally, I just have a few pairs of shoes. I take a pair of shoes, I go to an event, come back. So, but then at the same time, what I found, what I learned in the book is while trying to be a minimalist, at the same time, I don't get to enjoy fully. I think that's now where I need to find the balance. I even made some notes in the book as I was writing. Yeah, it was a great book overall, and just how to get out of debt and just paying yourself. That one, I love that strategy of faithfully paying yourself. Yes, I do pay myself, but I don't do it frequently. But I think it's something to adopt. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mopo, for that presentation. Hey, it made me reflect. You know, sometimes I think I think I only have this debt year bond, but to be honest, I haven't been faithful in paying my rates. So I think this presentation helped me to kind of reflect and do something about it. I'm definitely gonna do something about it. So my chat is I used to save a lot of money, guys. Like when I started working, I was saving a lot of money because I didn't have a child, I didn't have a house, I didn't have a car. Like life was smooth until all these things came to the picture. Then I mean, I didn't stop, but it just went from 50% downwards. So what I did this year, when the year started, I was reading this other book that says, I will teach you how to be rich. Yeah, I think that's the title of the book. So it said something about automating your savings and investments. So what I did, what I'm gonna do differently this year, I've already opened different savings pockets on the Capitec app. I just automated everything. I said from January, from the 20th of January, everything. If I'm saving for a vacation, it must just go straight from my bank account to that saving pocket here vacation. If I'm saving for birthday gifts, it must just go directly. I even automated my investments on easy equities to say every month I want to buy two ETFs, and it must be automatic. I don't want to go there and keep choosing ETFs. I've already decided these are the top two that I'm investing in. And for the rest of the year, money will be coming out from my account to those ETFs. So that's my advice, maybe for someone who struggles. Sometimes we have good plans until the money hits the bank account. Then now we are different people. So let's try and automate our savings, and let's try to automate our investments. Thank you.
Sure, I'm laughing, Zama. Thank you. You know, I like the way we are being honest and transparent. And, I wish we could do this more often. And, to follow up and also to get support and assistance. Like I'm listening to Zama, the automation and whatever it is. I still would love to, I think I'm not the only person like to follow up and say, how do you do this? Can I do it with my bank? Is it every bank that can do that? It's amazing. The wealth of knowledge we're getting from here is it's just amazing. Well, thank you very much for this platform. If there's someone else who wants to go again, I think this is just sort of going around and just checking where our shortcomings are, where we have learned, what we're going to be doing in the future, learning from the book. Vero, I think you are next. Or maybe not. Is there someone else perhaps who would like to just go? Ladies, let's just be transparent. We are learning so much from one another. There is no judgment here. There is no one who's going to be laughing or saying, did you hear that? Yes, indeed, I said it. I'm going to save 90,000 Rand. go ahead and ask me how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So let's just be, open, vulnerable, transparent, and we're learning a lot from one another. But if not, Malalo, I think you can. Oh, Malebo.
Oh yes, Mulala always say we must not shy away from advertising ourselves. So I would like to take this opportunity to let everybody know that this year, every Wednesday, I'll be hosting financial literacy conversations where we will discuss property, how to get into property investments. It's more of an education thing. Like Ozama has said that, you can't get into investments that you don't understand. So my duty is to educate, to since I'm a financial planner, I know people, I want people to get more knowledgeable so that when they do invest, they know where to go. Because it's all good. We are encouraging people to save 10%. But once that money has accumulated, they have no idea what to do with it. So we need to learn more. And people, once you know, you will know which investment you would like to know. So this year, every month, the last Wednesday of every month, I'll be hosting seminars, but I'll invite the group. I'll do posters so that everybody can know when they are happening, the links and everything. But yeah, I think it's our responsibility. And now that we have shared this wealth of information, how do you invest? Where to invest? I'm not saying you must invest at a particular. It's more of education on where, if you invest in properties, how do you do it? If you want to invest in shares, what does shares entails? What are the risks? Or what you look out for? So thank you so much.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Malebo. That's amazing. Absolutely. After this wealth of knowledge, we need that follow up. So you don't want to, I heard, but then where do I start? Thank you very much for raising your hand, and we'll just await that invite. We'll certainly join in. I'm sure we're going to still learn a lot, a lot. But I think I also appreciate the fact that we are helping one another to, especially listening to our stories that, oh, she did it this way. Oh, let me see. Let me just check. Perhaps this is how I can do it. And also hearing, is it Vero who said she used to do this and then she fell off the wagon, but she's picking herself up. That's so interesting. We want to know that we are dealing with real people. We all make mistakes. We fall short here and there, but then we pick ourselves up, and that is an encouragement and motivation to someone else to say, "Oh wow, I'm not that bad. I can also pick myself up." I think my part is done, Malalo. Thank you so much, ladies. It has been so wonderful. I'm handing over now to Malalo to close. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mopo, for taking us through the case presentation and also the discussion on the book itself. Now it's time for us to do a wrap up. And before I go to the wrap up, there's something that I was thinking about in the past few days where I was thinking, okay, we need to be able to support each other in this group. And sometimes it also depends on how we tend to introduce ourselves. Because when we do that, sometimes we leave a gap where people are still asking questions and some won't have the opportunity or the time to even ask you for that detail. You can say, yes, I do this, but if you don't tell us how we can get access to what you do or share how people can reach out to you, then it becomes one of those things that we see and then we scroll past. So we're going to leave the group open for the next 2 days, the bigger group, where I would encourage us to continue to introduce ourselves. But as we introduce ourselves, please introduce yourself share about what you do and also what you want from this pool or this community of women. How can we support you? If you're saying, I'm an author of this book, tell us this is how much the book costs, this is where you can purchase it, this is how you can get hold of me. If you're saying, I'll be doing this presentations, share a link, build your community so that people can reach out and also be part of that community. You've noticed that we've decided to keep this bigger group about book club related things for obvious reasons. But in these 2 days, if you are starting your own community, if it's a WhatsApp group, if it's an email link where you can just say, capture your details, you can post that so that those that are interested can then connect with you and then you share your information with them going forward. And I was laughing when somebody says nobody's laughing, but when it was said that when the money hits our bank account, we become different people. I was saying that to the ladies yesterday to say some of the things that I do to not be a different person altogether. The moment my salary comes in, all of it, I transfer it to a savings account. I hide that account for a few days until this demon passes, and then I and then I transfer my money and then I start allocating it. And also the automating aspect, it also helps because we just change here. You just want to go, even when you are scrolling on Facebook, but let's go to Namibia, let's go to Egypt. And you're like, hey, I can afford this thing now. Ne? But without realizing that there's things that you still need to pay. And once you've paid them, you won't be able to afford those. So let's make this practical and continue sharing about our journey. So in terms of feedback, as we wrap up, there is a link which I shared on the chat. We'll also share it on the WhatsApp group. You will share feedback with us about the session. I think last year we had a long discussion around the time that we set for the sessions. We used to meet for like an hour and a half, and we decided let's keep it to an hour, but an hour is stressing. So we'll try aim for an hour and a half. And those that need to go when it's 7 o'clock, they can go and then continue with the recording so that we are free and not feel under pressure. And the Western Cape ladies are meeting on Sunday, the 2nd of February in Cape Town. The location or the venue where they're meeting has also been shared on their WhatsApp group. And if you happen to be in Cape Town that weekend, please do connect so that you can also get to meet other ladies that are in different parts of the country. And then the Gauteng, as Malebu has indicated, on Saturday, the 22nd of February, they're meeting for their vision board. So communication will be sent out on the Gauteng group. We've now created a community where you are most welcome to join the group of any province where you will benefit in. Because last year we had challenges where someone's from the Eastern Cape, they're working in Gauteng, and then now they don't know which group they must be in. But now you are most welcome to join both groups. And if there are sessions in the Eastern Cape and then you are there at that time, you can attend, meet the ladies that side. If you're in Gauteng, you can also join in and be part of those groups. And then the Limpopo ladies, we met yesterday. Thohoyandou ladies have also decided that on the 22nd of February, they're meeting in Rensia here in Thohoyandou. We met in Wimpy yesterday, and the resolution was like, let's find another venue where we'll be able to walk, stretch. I think Polokwane got it right. They were in Ashes yesterday, and we could see that they are more free compared to how we were yesterday. So those are the announcements. And then the book that we are reading in February is The Diary of a CEO. The 33 Laws of Business and Life by Stephen Bartlett. So the book cost 231 on Take a Lot. So those that are interested in getting a copy, I'd also still be happy to assist you with ordering your books, and then any other thing that you would like to order. Or let me also take this opportunity to share that I'm a Take a Lot personal shopper. I also subscribe to Take a Lot more, where I don't pay delivery for my orders. So even if you want to order something that costs 200 Rand, 100 Rand, or 50 Rand, just get in touch. I'm on 083-261-0700, and I will be happy to assist you. Order it, you won't pay any delivery. So even with the book, you just pay 231, and then I'll assist, order it for you, and then it gets delivered to your address. And then the next review date will be Sunday, the 23rd of February, 2025. And we look forward to engaging with you all. And I also want to take this time to thank you all for joining in on the session. Thank you, Mopo, for raising your hand when I shared the case presentation and said, let's start here. This is the guide in terms of how we can have this conversation around the book, and also for our financial planners. We can hear you, Malim. And also, and also for Zama for coming in and sharing with us. And also, Zama also does so much work in financial literacy. She does church tours, teaching people about financial literacy in churches, which is something that we need. Where there's a community, let's make sure that we become financial literate. Let's also share this book, order a copy for a friend. It was one of those January reads where it was like only 150 Rand for a book. And then it's also something that you can keep for a lifetime. So we invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We are ImPower'd Woman Book Club, and it's good to hear from you. Let's connect further also on our YouTube channel and WhatsApp group and WhatsApp channel. Thank you all, and thank you for all the introductions that I see on the chat. We'll just give it a few minutes here so that you can also just copy your introductions, share them on the WhatsApp group, because the main WhatsApp group is open. So you can also just share and also advise how we can support you and your people in this journey. So I want to wish you all the best as we continue with the year, and have a lovely evening further. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Marlo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for a lovely session. Bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for the session. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye.